everyone, and welcome back to my channel Gabbabetic, and welcome to today's video. Today's video is a little catch-up video. It's been 1 month since I officially started my Medtronic 780G pump. If you want to see all of the videos about how that went, I'll link them in the description down below. There's a good few. If you're new to my channel, before I started the pump 1 month ago, I was 16 years MDI. So it has been a huge change and it's been a very eventful few weeks. And I just want to catch up with you all about it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please give it a big thumbs up, comment down below and subscribe if you're new to the channel. So where to start today is the 25th of May. I started my insulin pump on the 22nd of April. That was my first day using an insulin pump, but I did start the training a week before that. So I'm just gonna try to remember everything. I feel like I've loads to talk about, but like, what do I say? So how I'm doing now, I'm doing good. I think I'll go like the way I'm going to do this video is I'm going to go from the start and then talk about everything since then and how I'm doing now. So obviously I'm just going to recap here, but if you want to see more detail, check out my videos where I break down each week and I kind of bring you through the weeks as they happen in real time. But yeah, I had my first week of training and that was just not attached to the pump. And that was just learning how to use the pump but not being attached. So that was fine. That was all good. I didn't feel like, oh, I wasn't worried at all. This is my Medtronic 780G. Trying to stretch up so you can see it. I will show you my infusion site in a minute. And I'm using Guardian 4, which looks like this. Current blood sugar is 4.4 and going down. I'm actually feeling that at the moment. I don't know if it's because like I was getting ready to make this video and that's what's making me a bit low. So we'll see if I'll go low. I'm hoping it might stop and just level out. If you want to see the reasons why I chose the Medtronic 780G over the T-Slim, because they were my only two options, that's in, I think, my pre-assessment video and also my week 1 video. So you can check that out there. I'm not going to go into it here. But yeah, so the first week, perfect, because it wasn't attached to the pump. So then week 2, and for those of you who watched that video, which is like half an hour long, you will know that it was very up and down, the manual mode. So you have to learn manual mode before you can go into SmartGaurd in Ireland, just in case you ever have to come out of SmartGaurd, in case you're sick or something, or your sensor fails and you go back into manual mode. I actually went and got a jelly because I know I'm dropping. Lana's here with me. You can't see her, but she's here. They're so nice, but right, hate going almost low. So manual mode, yeah, did not like it. For me, it felt like just like I had a pump, but it was still the same as injections. Like I was still going high and there was no auto corrections to fix that in the night. So it was kind of just like, this is kind of the same as just taking injections. And I felt I didn't understand how much I would have to learn. So I felt physically exhausted and mentally exhausted because of how much I had to learn. Also, I don't know if this has happened to anyone. So when I finished Tresiba, I stopped Tresiba and I stopped Fiasp and I started on NovaRapid. So obviously I've been on those medications for literally years, and I think I didn't realize that you could actually feel a bit sick from that, because I did feel like nauseous. I felt like really, really nauseous, and I do think that was the reason why, because like, I guess if you suddenly stop 2 medications in your body that you've literally been using for years and start a completely new one, like I know it's insulin and it's similar, but I still think it had an effect on me, because the first day, maybe 2 days, I felt so sick. Like I literally felt so nauseous. So yeah, I was still going high in the night, which was always my problem on MDIs. I have high blood sugars at nighttime. And being in manual mode of the insulin pump didn't fix this, because it only alerts when you go high and then you have to give it the bolus yourself. So it's kind of like, why did I do this? And I was like, oh my God, this is so exhausting. This is the same as MDI. Like, why did I do this? But thankfully, I can say that has changed so much since I began SmartGaurd. So I'm on SmartGaurd now about 3 weeks. So I did a week and a half of manual mode, trying to adjust my basals. But like, honestly, I go so high at nighttime for no reason that anyone can find out. It's really hard to get a basal to match that, and then to not like wake up low. So it's kind of hard. Like I know there might be times where I have to go into manual mode, but I'll just have to do my best at those times, and I'll probably have high blood sugars at night. But having SmartGaurd, oh my God. If you don't know what SmartGaurd is, or you're new to pumps, or if you never had a pump, look at my SmartGaurd video, because it'll go into detail on that. That's my week 3 insulin pump video. So basically SmartGaurd is an algorithm and it talks to the sensors. This is the Guardian 4 sensor on my arm. So the pump and the sensor interact. If I'm starting to go low, like I am now, it will stop giving me insulin. You know, I'm going low, so I might need a bit of help. If I'm starting to go high, it will give auto corrections and adjust for that. And then it has an auto basal, which I don't know how it figures it out, but it's supposed to keep you in range throughout the day, and it does. My time in range has improved so much. So right now, today, I'm 92% time in range. And honestly, I would have never ever have seen that on MDI on my Dexcom. And like usually my time in range is probably minimum above 75 and definitely in the 80s and 90s. And just to show you, I just logged in to have a look at my report. I have so much to look at. But this one here, B, is my time in range for the last week, and A is the week before that. But honestly, they're so good because I would never have seen bars like this on SmartGaurd. So just wanted to show you that my time in range is really good. You can see it here clearly. And I never saw those figures on MDI. Like I never did, because I was always going high for like a third of the day, like when I'm sleeping, and I'd either wake up and try to take insulin to fix that or just sleep through it. So I could never get like a third of the day in range basically. So my best on MDI was like 75, and that would be a really, really good day. So I am in awe of how much this is taking care of things for me. I also have less decisions to make, to think about. Like I still carb count, but the pump knows my insulin to carb ratios, and it makes adjustments for that based on the meal, based on SmartGaurd reading of the blood sugar. So when I'm having meal times, I'm not thinking as much. And then also like if I'm having, you know, maybe I had a lunch that was kind of higher in fat, I'm starting to trend high, SmartGaurd is taking care of that. But the best for me is the improvement of quality of sleep. I can actually sleep through the night. Like it's very, very rare with this in the last 3 weeks that I've had a high alarm waking me up. Maybe one time when I had a takeaway, but like you can't really do anything when you go high on SmartGaurd. You have to just see if it offers you an auto correction, or else just let the auto corrections work away. So you don't really have to think about things as much as how I would describe being on an insulin pump. Like it's kind of just taking care of things itself. Now I know like times like this where I am going low, but like I feel like I'm going low because I was rushing around getting ready to try and make this video, and the SmartGaurd doesn't know that. So maybe I could have set a temp target. I'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, like I just feel the mental load in terms of managing the blood sugar has been taken off. I've seen time and range values I've never ever seen before. So I'm happy with that and hope it continues. In terms of negative things, like I still do go high, but it's just that I don't have to manage it at nighttime. I always went high at nighttime on MDI. I always have 2 peaks of going high. I go high like 11 p.m. around that. Then if I took insulin with pens, it would drop, and then I would go back high again around 3 to 4. So I always have those kind of 2 high profiles at nighttime. And now SmartGaurd just takes care of it, which is so good. But the negatives are that, yeah, I still do go high, but it's just that I don't have to manage it as much. And there is, I feel, a lot of more kind of admin with the pump. Like I'm definitely still new to it, so I'm at the stage where like if I get an alert to say like low reservoir or low battery, I'm kind of panicking, but I feel like that will come with time. But like you have to obviously change your infusion every 3 days. You have to change your sensor once a week, which isn't so bad, but like it's the kind of making sure everything's okay, like the admin of it, making sure you have enough insulin, because there was an insulin shortage here, of course, in my first 3 weeks, so I was getting kind of worried. But I got my vials of insulin, which is really good. And just like if things go wrong, so like the things that have gone wrong for me, I've had 2 sensor. I'm going low right now, so I will pause and get some more sugar and come back. I also just had a little bit of lift. So yeah, while my blood sugar comes up, we'll talk about the negatives that I've had. So yeah, I've had 2 sensor fails. I honestly don't think the Guardian 4 is as good a sensor as Dexcom G7. It's accurate. I believe the accuracy is fine. It is way too complicated to put it on. It's impossible to put it on your arm without the help of someone else. So I have my boyfriend luckily to help with that. Otherwise I'll be putting it on my stomach, and I really don't like it on the stomach because I find it very bulky. It's failed twice early, so it's died on like day 4 and 5 instead of 7. One of the days it was stuck in sensor updating for 3 hours. I thought I was going to have to take it off, but at the last minute it kicked back in. My 2 errors were one day it just stopped working, and then the second time it failed was that it was saying I was low, so I took lift because I felt like I might be, and I didn't check on my monitor, and then because I was in work, and then it said like half an hour later I was low, and I was like, really, I don't feel low. So I was like, right, this time I will check on my meter. And my blood sugar was 11, and I didn't overtreat the hypo. So I was like, oh, was I even low in the first place? So I tried to calibrate it, didn't accept the calibration, told me to wait. Did the second one because the calibration, like, it was thinking I was like 3 and the calibration was 11, so it was way different. And then it didn't accept the second, and then it didn't accept the second calibration, so also kicked me off then. So that's what happened there. I haven't had any other major errors, thank God. Like, I've had alerts go off for low battery and stuff, low reservoir, that have kind of, they kind of panic me at the moment, because I didn't know with the low battery, like, I didn't know if the pump was going to die like right there and then. But I realized you have like 8 hours or something to change the battery, so that's fine. So they're not really errors. But then the only other thing that happened was one of the days I was having high blood sugar for like no reason. And they say if the blood sugar is more than 15 for 2 hours, you know, maybe change the infusion. And I had a look at my infusion wire, you know, this wire here going into the pump, and there was air bubbles in it. So I took a bolus like it suggested, and it was auto correcting, and I said, look, I'll give it an hour and see if the blood sugar comes down. And I also went for a walk in that time, and the blood sugar came right down. But then the air bubbles, I don't know if they were causing the high. So I think things can definitely go wrong very quickly on the pump. Like if the site falls off, or if you've air bubbles or things like that, I feel like you can get high blood sugar really fast and go into possible DKA. Whereas I feel like with injections, that doesn't really happen. Like, that immediate fail and panic is not there. One question I did have for experienced pump users, and this can apply to any pump, how long, like, what are you letting your reservoir run down to? Because I haven't gotten that right. Like, at the moment, the closest I ever ran it down to was actually, I've just changed it this morning. It was like this morning, and there was 15 units left, and I'm wondering, is that too little to let it run down to? My thing alarms on 20 units left in the reservoir. So if you could let me know that, that would be great. I'm still learning lots of things. I have some areas definitely to improve on. I've noticed that, you know, I told you my blood sugar's going high at night, it's auto correcting for that, blah blah blah. So areas to improve on, I have 2 areas. First of all is, so I'm waking up at blood sugars like 5 or 6, which is good, because going high at night, it's auto correcting, I'm waking up in range. But like, by the time I get to have my breakfast, so sometimes I have to drive to work, or other days I'm working from home, but by the time I get to have my breakfast, sometimes I've gone low, or sometimes I'm like dropping, and I don't know like what to really do. I think I have to talk to the nurses about that, because like, I don't know if I should be waking up and setting a temp target immediately so that I can get to work, like drive to work and get ready and have breakfast and work, or what. Like, it's not too bad when I'm at home, because like I usually get up, sort out, and have breakfast. But other days when I have to drive, like, by the time I'm sitting down to have food, I'm like low. So I need to ask about that. And the second thing is, I'm still going low with like exercise. Like, I've definitely improved it, because I wasn't setting a temp target. So I'll do a whole video about temp targets. To kind of summarize, temp target is temporary target, that's 8.3. So you set your pump to that if you're doing some exercise. Usually you set it, they said to me, an hour before, during the exercise, and 15 minutes after. I definitely haven't been setting it for long enough before, because I find it very hard like to plan out every moment of exercise. You know, sometimes like it might be nice out and I just want to go for a walk, and sometimes it might be raining and I don't. So like, or I might like just not want to, or really want to, like, so it's hard to plan it out. So I need to work on that too, to stop the hypos. It's actually funny, now my problems are low blood sugars instead of high blood sugars. So we've gone like full circle. So yeah, that's kind of it. Like, now it's been a month, I'm definitely getting used to things. I'm not crying trying to do my infusion. If you watched, I think it's my second video on the manual mode, I literally could not get the air bubbles to leave the reservoir, and I think I was just so overwhelmed, I was like burst into tears, which I think is the only time I've ever cried on one of these videos that I've made, or at least posted it. So I just want to show you how things are looking. So here is the insulin pump, and I've got my case on, I've got the clip on. You obviously saw the Guardian 4, it's covered up there. And then I just want to show you I have a matching infusion site. So that's that there, and I think the stickers are really cute. I only have 2 infusion site stickers, because when I was ordering them, like, I didn't really know what things were. and what I needed, so I only ordered 2, which literally doesn't even last a week. So there's that. So anyway, that's the catch up. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any more questions for me, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if you like this kind of video. Maybe I could do one in like 3 months or something if you do. And subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.